Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Birmingham Luxury Market Update. Today we are going to be talking about the Homewood and the Vestavia areas. We're going to start with the Vestavia areas, and I am pumped to share the information with you because there's a lot to look at. And hopefully it'll give you a good idea if you are a seller or a buyer in this area, what you can expect right now. So let's just go ahead and dive right into it. Before we get going though, if you like this kind of content, drop a like on the video, drop a comment about what your favorite area is in Birmingham, and share it with somebody who needs to see it if they're a seller or they're a buyer in the area so they can understand what's going to happen as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and let's get going. That's the wrong one. Here we go. All right. So I have already pulled up what is active and what has sold in Liberty Park / Vestavia over $750,000. Again, we're looking over 750,000 because I am just considering that as luxury here in the Birmingham market. The average in all of Birmingham is probably around 250,000, maybe a little higher now, but we're going to look at 750,000 and up. And we're already seeing a good bit of listings here, and some new construction, most resales. So if we look here, we have got 24 total listings over 750,000 in Vestavia. The high list price is 1.799 million, so 1.8 million, and then the low here, I've got it set to 750,000, but we don't even have anything from 750 to 800. So the lowest is 800,000 here in the luxury game. So this house here alone, this is a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3 and 2 half baths. It was built in the year 2000, and it's been on the market for 28 days so far. This is in Liberty Park, which is a very popular area to be in right now. Good school system, great community, and so I'm surprised it has been on the market for so long. Let's see what the square footage is on this. So square footage is living area 3,700. So maybe the decor has thrown some people off, but other than that, it looks like a decent home, and it looks like it's on a good lot in a good area. So I'm surprised it hasn't had more action on it. And there might have been a lot of showings, but I'm surprised it hasn't sold. So you have these here. The next 3 are new construction houses, all built in 2023. And we jump straight to 860 and then straight over 900. So you see that these new construction houses, there's a lot of new construction going on. And we just get straight into the $1 million mark. And you see a couple of resales in here. Here's one. This was built in 2004. It's 4,400 square feet, 6,257 total square footage. You got a lot of finished basement square footage, and it looks beautiful. It's updated. It looks great. It looks nice. Pictures are great. It's been on the market for 11 days now. And so I'm curious to see what's going to happen with this at 1.175 million. And we keep going down. Still more new construction. Here's a 2020 house. This is a resale. Oak Leaf Trail, Magnolia Woods here in Vestavia. This is a good looking house as well. Kind of a different style, maybe a different floor plan. It does have that open floor plan though, which is nice. This is almost 6,000 square feet, 5,600 total square footage, 4,200 on the living area. So you got a $1.272 million price tag on it, and it has been on the market for 51 days. So I'm curious to see how many showings that they have had, and if they have had any offers or anything of that nature. Here's another resale. This is a very big house, 8,000 total square square feet on the HVAC. You've got a lot of finished basement here. This house is huge, and it looks beautiful too. So this house has been on the market with this agent 28 days, Julie Kim, 28 days. Previously, it's been on the market for 306 days. So it might be priced a little high. You can see owner is an agent. So I'm curious to see who owns this. It could be Brad and he just co-listed with Julie. I don't know. But for 1.299 million, they might have it priced too high just because it's been on the market for a long time. But we'll see what happens with this as well. Here's another resale. 1.299 million, 5,600 square feet. So we see here like the 55 to 6,000 square foot range. These are big homes, pretty much mansions that are listed right now. They're right there in that 1.2 to 1.3 range. This has been on the market for 20 days now. So I wonder if they've had any showings. And then the rest are new construction until you get here to the 1.35 range. And again, we're at that 6,200 square foot mark. This is hard to see. So this house is covered up in trees. But again, a mansion, and it's been on the market for 41 days. So obviously you can see it's another resale. You can see that these mansions, these big houses, right, that are, 6,000 plus square feet, 5,500 plus square feet, are staying on the market for already we see 30, 40, 50 days. This is another 41 days here. And this is a massive house, 7,100 total square footage. And this is in Altadena, which is a neighborhood off Caldwell Mill, kind of close to Oak Mountain, the Oak Mountain area. But it is annexed in Vestavia. Super popular neighborhood, and a lot of other big houses in there as well. So I'm sure this one will sell, and we'll see what happens to it. We'll keep an eye on it. So if you are a seller on the active market, you can see like if your house is over 5,000 square feet, it might be on the market for a little bit longer, but we're going to look at some solds and see what has sold and how quick they've sold. So we've got here 760,000, 14 days on the market. It sold for 760 over asking price. They listed at 749. So it sold for 750. This house was built 2013 and it's 3,700 square feet. So you can see the 3,700 to 4,000 range sold pretty quick. Let's see if there's another one here. The Pump House Road. 769 was a list price, sold for 770 for cash. And again, this is the 4,200 square feet. Seems like that kind of size of home is what people like. It's not too much house. Here we got 3,000 square feet, and it sold for 775. That's actually 100,000 over asking price. That sold in March of this year. That's wild. And it went conventional. So I wonder if there was an appraisal gap or if it just appraised for that much. But 100,000 over asking price because somebody wants to live in Vestavia. And this is a great area to live in. You got great school systems. You've got a great community to be in. Let's see. We've got a 2013, spent 22 days on the market. 4,000 square feet. Cash sold in April, so just a month ago. 22 days on the market. That's not a long time. You see, we start to get into these older homes here, 98, 68, 77, 85, and they all sold very quickly. 3 days, 2 days, 4 days, 4 days, right? And then you have a 2021 house here, 795, that spent 90 days on the market. So some people might like the older homes here in Vestavia. See, this is that 3,500 square foot. So if you've got a 3,000, let's say 3,500 to 4,000 or 4,500 square foot house in Vestavia, your house could sell pretty quickly, just based on what has happened so far this year. So let's go ahead and bump up to over $1 million. So the first one that we have is a new construction house. Second one we had is a resale built in 1999. It spent 2 days on the market, and it sold for over asking price as well. Sold for 50,000 over asking price. It was listed at 999. And again, we're at that 4,000 square foot range. And it just baffles me that these things are still going over asking. This was in March, 2 days on the market. So if you think as a buyer, if you're watching the news and it's like the sky's falling out, there's still people buying things over asking price. There's still multiple offer situations out there. So as a seller, you're still in a good spot. It's still a double-edged sword of like, yes, you could probably sell your house for the most you've ever sold it for, ever could get. But now you got to go buy something else, and where are you going to go? So I've heard that a lot from sellers. They're like, I want to sell my house. I could get the most I could ever get, but then I've got to pay the most I'll ever pay for another house. So, and I get that. Here's one, 1.1 million, 4,300, total of 5,500 square feet, which is a big house, built in 2000. This one spent 1 day on the market, just sold last week, at asking price. Was this cash? Conventional loan. So people are out there buying. They're buying expensive houses too. So if let's just bump up to the most expensive, 1.775 million right here, Rosemont. This is 6,000 square feet, 5,939, 7,600 total square footage. And you got a lot of unfinished basement as well. So this house spent no days on the market. It got an offer for cash, closed in 2 weeks. That was this month. So what a sale this was. Somebody really, really, really wanted this house. They've probably been eyeing it for a long time. And the first day it was available, they hopped in there and got on it very quickly. And a lot of people will do that. If they want a house, they're going to go and get what they want. Let's look at this Pump House Road house, or Pump House Lane. I'm sorry. 3764, again, under the 4,000 range. Only 3 beds, 2 baths, built in 2010. Not a lot of land with it. I mean, it's almost a garden, pretty much a garden home. And it was 1.5 million. Sold 1.5 million, 31 days on the market just last month as well. And it sold in 3 days. Look at that. Contract date, 4/25. Close date, 4/27. So 2 days it sold. Somebody really, really wanted this house once they found it. And that tends to happen, especially when you're playing with people that have cash. They can do those kinds of things. This house in Tanglewood spent 44 days on the market. So this is a 4-bedroom, 5 and 2 half baths, 6,836 square feet. So this is a monster. They did have to reduce the price. So they had it originally listed at 2.295 million. So 2.3 million down to 1.995 million. And then it sold at 1.75 million. That was just this month as well, on May 5th. So, that goes to show you that this is the first house that I have pulled up that has had a price reduction and then also sold under asking price. 200,000, 300,000 under asking price. So, as a buyer, those things are still out there. Those houses that are over here on active status, 28 days on the market, 111, those are new construction houses. But these resales, 11 days, 51 days, 28 days, 19 days, 41 days, 41 days, 246 days. Those could be negotiable. If you're a buyer and you're looking in this area and you're like, hey, I want to live in Liberty Park or I want to live in Vestavia, well, you might have a shot at actually negotiating with somebody who has a house priced maybe overpriced or just high in general because they might be ready to move. So this is just a snapshot of what the market looks like over there. Still super popular. As you can see, this price range from 700 to a million, things are going over asking, for asking. I think it's crazy that we still have seen $100,000 sales price over asking price. That is wild to me. But hey, if you can do it and you want the house, then who's stopping you? So as a seller, what you can expect based on these numbers is that if you have a house in between that 3,500 and 4,500 square foot range, and you're in a neighborhood that most people want to be in, your house can sell very quickly. 2, 3, 3, 2, 4, 4. I mean, less than a week on the market, sometimes 0 days on the market, and maybe 2 weeks on the market, but 2 weeks really isn't that long. So it is still an inventory problem in a lot of these areas where there's not any houses to buy. So people want to live there and they go, they see it, they have the money for it, they're going to purchase it. So it's still hot, especially in this area. So Vestavia, Liberty Park. I'm going to pull up Homewood now and see what we've got there. See what's active over in Homewood. We've got 9 houses in Homewood that are active. Let's look at the solds. $29 houses have sold so far this year. We'll look at the solds first, kind of get an idea of what's going to happen. So we've got a couple things at 750,000. One resale house spent 71 days on the market, and then one house that was built in 1936 spent 1 day on the market. Let's just look at this real quick. So this house spent 1 day on the market and sold for $750,000. And it was built in 1936. So these historical houses over here in Homewood are very popular. It's only 1,700 square feet. That's $439 a foot, is pretty wild. So if you have a historical home, that might be good news for you. Here's another 1945 house that sold for $757, 2 days on the market. So that's promising. Got to plug up. This house is definitely remodeled. Obviously, you could tell most of these houses are going to be remodeled. But this house went well over asking price. So they were asking $600 for it, and it sold for $757. $157,000 over asking price this month with 2 days on the market. That is crazy to me. And this was a loan as well. I wonder if they had an appraisal gap in there. Somebody really wanted to live here. That's just the thing, is when you get into a certain price range and somebody really wants to live there, they're going to do it regardless. So this is 2,300 square feet. A lot of the houses in Homewood that you're going to see in this price range are going to be a little bit smaller than the ones we were just looking at in Vestavia. So they're going to be probably 2,500 to 3,500 square feet. And we'll see kind of as we go down what that really looks like. There is one condo here that sold for $762,500 with 0 days on the market. Somebody wanted to be there as well. The Soho Flats condos is kind of right in the middle of everything. So it is popular, and I could see where somebody was wanting to jump on that. Let's just go down. So I'm just looking at days on market over here. Things are popular. You do have this house that was on the market for 61 days. This was actually one of our agents who had this listed. and it sold listed at 834, sold for 800,000 cash. And it spent how many days? 61 days on the market and sold just last month. It also is kind of weird because you got a lot of steps up to the front door. That might deter a lot of people. And a lot of people in Homewood, they like the small little one-level houses in the popular area in Edgewood. So like this house right here is in Edgewood. And this is a very popular area, listed at $699 and sold for $823. So another $123,000 over asking price. This closed in March, spent 1 day on the market. Guys, if you have a house in Edgewood and it's about that 2,500 square foot range, you seriously might need to get in touch with your agent or me to see what your house is worth, because it might be worth you instantly getting so much equity back and going and buying something else. See, here's another 2,700, 2,788 in square footage. This is Edgewood Park, so same neighborhood. 825 was the list price, sold at 825 asking. So spent like what, 0 days on the market. 0 days on the market. So that just goes to show you how popular things are over here. Here's Hollywood. This is real close to Edgewood as well. So this sold for $850 and was listed at $829. So 20,000 over asking. 0 days on the market. Cash closed in 10 days. So let's go ahead and bump it up over $1 million. Let's go to $1,000,001 here. $1,000,001 right here, 2019. 1 day on the market. 2,784 square feet. This is also in Edgewood. 1 day closed. It actually took a little while to close as a conventional loan. Took about 40 days to get that finished up. But regardless, 2,784 square feet sold for $1 million. So 100,000 over asking too. We've got one here, Hollywood. This home was built in 1929, so another historical house, 2,800 square feet, 2,790, listed at 1.1 million, sold for 1.1 million in 14 days. So things are flying off the market this year over in Homewood, in the Edgewood, Hollywood area. Edgewood Gardens here. 1 day on the market, built in 2017, 3,100 square feet. Listed at $999, sold for $100,000 over asking. I mean, this sold just last month. This is crazy. People want to live here. So if you have a house here, I'm serious. Consider listing it, because you might get $100,000 over asking as well. Here's another one, Edgewood, 3,000 square feet, 4.5. Listed at 1.3 million. Gusty had it listed. He's one of ours. 0 days on the market. Closed in a month, closed in March. So that just goes to show you, as a home seller, this actually just went right under asking, sold for 1.275 million, listed at 1.3. So as a home seller, you can expect, especially around that 3,000 square foot range, your house is going to be very popular. It's going to get a lot of action. It's going to have a lot of showings, most likely, and it will probably spend less than a week on the market, and you're going to get some kind of offer, especially in that Edgewood, Hollywood area. And we've got one more. The most expensive house sold in Homewood this year so far is 1.8 million. Spent 2 days on the market, listed at 1.9, 6,300 total square footage, and 6 bedrooms, 5.5 baths. Beautiful house too. Sold for cash this month, just a couple days ago, 11 days ago it sold. And fully updated and renovated. It's super, super nice. So that just goes to show you here, we've got one that is almost 6,400 square feet, which is a massive house. and you go back over here to the 3,000 square foot house. Now you got a $600,000 difference or $500,000 difference, but that just goes to show you 3,000 square feet less, and you can still get almost $1.3 million for your house. So as a buyer, what does that expect? What can you expect if you were trying to buy a house in Homewood right now? We're going to look at actives in a second, but what this shows me is that you're going to have a lot of competition. It probably going to be multiple offers regardless of what house you're looking at, and you better come with an appraisal gap or cash. That's kind of what I see. And it doesn't really matter what the age of the house is. If you want a new construction house, you better be looking at Vestavia or Hoover, because Homewood doesn't have a lot of them. You got one right here that's 2023, and it sold for $838, $398, which is their list price, 2,500 square feet. So you don't have a lot of new construction over here selling. It's all resales. It's just an older neighborhood. Not a lot of new construction going on in Edgewood. There's a lot of construction going on, but it's a lot of renovations happening or custom built houses for people. So yeah, if you're a seller in there, I would definitely look into seeing how much your house is worth and if it makes if it's the right decision for you to sell, if it makes sense. So let's look at what's active here in Homewood right now for 750,000 and up. We've got this house has been on the market for a long time. Parkside Court, 811,000, built in 94. It's been a year on the market today, 365 days on the market. Doesn't look like it was built in 1994, does it? 1,800 square feet for $811,000. So 365 days on the market. That is kind of scary. Might be overpriced a little bit just because it is less than 2,000 square feet. You've got one here, 875, 19 days on the market, built in 07. A couple new construction things on the market, a 1925. So we've already busted into the $1 million range. 1925, 78 days on the market, 5,000 total square footage. So this has been on the market for quite some time now. Berkeley Place, Grove Park. Grove Park is still a nice neighborhood and popular, and it looks good on the inside. Maybe it might not be some people's style, but I'm surprised this house hasn't sold, to be honest with you. They have lowered the price $50,000. So we'll see what happens with that one. Been on the market, again, 78 days. You've got the most expensive house is a resale built in 05 for $1.55 million. Spent 26 days on the market so far. You actually do have a pretty big lot with this. So a lot of times at Homewood, you don't have a lot of lot size with your houses. This is nice to have just because you got 0.7 of an acre here. You got 3,744 square feet, which is kind of in that range that people like. I'm surprised this house hasn't sold. It's $1.55 million, 26 days on the market, and I'm sure it'll sell here soon. So if you're interested in purchasing in Homewood, just remember there's probably going to be a lot of competition, especially in the Edgewood area, in the Hollywood area. So just remember that. And if you're a seller, that's good for you because you're going to have a lot of attention on your house if it is priced correctly and you have the right updates in your home. So if you're interested in selling, you know who to reach out to. You can reach out to me or you can reach out to your agent. We'll price your house, see what we can do for you. If you're interested in buying, again, you know who to reach out to, me or another agent. And y'all, I appreciate y'all being here. And I will catch you in the next one. If you like this video, please like it, please share it, and subscribe to the new channel. I appreciate everybody who has supported so far. Again, if you're looking to move somewhere, you know who to call.